You is get your it's your boy Sam back here with another video, and in this video today, guys, we're going to be talking about the new legendary path cards that did get released in NBA 2K24 MyTEAM today. Obviously, the lock-in reward being the amethyst Dirk Nowitzki. I mean, Jason Kidd, when I shot around with him yesterday, looked good. Danny Granger has been a card historically who's been pretty good. I don't know if I love his release this year. And then, obviously, you've got Brandon Jennings, who supposedly can move well this year. Kevin Martin, Tyson Chandler, as well as some of these emeralds. Now, we probably will see at least some of these cards that are free, at least. Like, if we go back and look at the legendary path, Devin Booker, I mean, Gus Williams was free. Quentin Mobley there was a grind for, as well as Matt Barnes, as well as a gold. So maybe 4 of these cards, lower tier ones, you'll be able to grind and get for free. Now, I gotta hope their challenges or agendas are easy, because one of the challenges in the last one, I think it's for Quentin Mobley, was actually pretty difficult to do. Now, we're gonna start it off at the bottom here with Damon Stoudamire. First thing I see, 5'10" for Damon Stoudamire. I mean, they couldn't, I know they don't make people taller, but they couldn't make him a little bit taller. He does have 89 speed though, so I guess I'm a fan of that. He does have 13 base badges. Again, not bad in the grand scheme of things. Defensively though, he is going to be absolutely horrible. There is no debating that. Damon Stoudamire on the defensive end of the court is horrible. Kiss for a base, smooth. Normal timing again. I don't know how, I guess, great that's going to be, but at least it should be a solid enough in general. CP3 dribble style. I feel like if you need a guy to help get you through, like, let's say, I don't know, triple threat offline, Damon Stoudamire is going to be a decent option for that. But is he like a guy you can run in any type of online setting? I would say probably not. Darko Milicic up next, 7 feet tall, 7'5" wingspan, can't shoot, and he is slow. There is no reason to ever run this card in my team, ever. I mean, you want to run a slow center, run a guy like KP, run a guy like Wemby, even run a guy like Bol over Darko. I'm telling you guys, this is not a card that you're going to want to ever run in my team. Golds, not very good. Let's hope the emeralds are a little bit better. Antonio McDyess can't shoot, not fast, and bad all the way around. I mean, I basically said let's hope they're better, and they've gotten worse. Like, these cards that we have seen thus far are absolutely horrible. 6'9" for Antonio McDyess, 7-foot wingspan, but the card does nothing on the court for you. 8 total badges. He is a garbage man in my team. Jeff Green, he's been a budget baller in the past. Can we see a budget Jeff Green this year? Let's check it out. 6'8", 7'1" wingspan. Okay, I mean, it's not necessarily the best, but it could be a lot worse. I mean, that's just his height. 72 3-ball, 77 speed. Okay, defense. Here's my thing, though. If you compare him to Matt Barnes, it's not even comparable. Matt Barnes blows his card out. Way better 3-ball, way better defense. It's not even close. And I want Jeff Green to be good. I've loved Jeff Green cards in the past. Absolutely loved them. Just don't see it with this card. Again, decent speed, decent finishing. Check out his release, Jeff Green base. I don't know what it's like this year. In the past, it's been good. But again, that's the past. I don't know. This year, hopefully, it's at least decent and usable. Not a guy I'm really that fond of is Jeff Green. Again, I think Matt Barnes is a little better. Thad Young up next. 68 3-ball, low speed, not great defensively. He does have some good badges, though. Like the Silver Interceptor is solid, decent finishing badges. Thad Young base on normal. Now, I don't know if the Thad Young base this year is cheesy. It has been one of the releases in the past that is one of the cheesier ones in all of my team. But again, this year, I don't know. I mean, maybe it hasn't. Maybe it wasn't the Thad Young base. Maybe it was the base 98 in 2K21 that had. I don't know. I'm just saying that's the only potential for Thad. When I look at these budget guys, so far, we haven't went through Quentin Richardson yet, but I'm disappointed because we've gotten some really good budget ballers the past couple of drops, and this one so far hasn't been that. Quentin Richardson up next. Here we go. Here's our chance. Again, I don't know what his release is going to look like. I've not used the card, so I can't really tell you guys. So release-wise, question mark. But, hot spots from 3 to 5 places. 86 3-ball, decent speed. Comes with bronze limitless, comes with decent badges. You look at the release, Al Horford base, we know what release that's going to be like. We know. The upper Kendrick Nunn, I don't necessarily know. I mean, it's good on Matt Barnes, but I don't know what that's like. Gonna be an interesting thing. I think it's basically the Q-rich release of the past, right? So if you've used Quentin Richardson before, it's probably going to be basically identical to that. Now, I think he has potential. I'm just not necessarily sold on that release. I still don't think he's going to be great, but for budget ballers, might be worth your time if he is a grindable card. Sapphires, Tyson Chandler, let's talk about him. 7 feet tall, 7'3" wingspan. Now, Tyson Chandler is a little bit better than some of the other centers that we've seen. Now, why is Tyson better than a guy like Darko? Well, start with the badges. He's got some really solid defensive badges. Even the bronze anchor, you guys might not think is that big of a deal. Definitely is a little impactful. And you can give him a few badges, right? You can give him off-ball pest, can give him rebound chaser to make him even better. Again, I'm not one I necessarily love to apply badges, especially this early on, but when we're talking about how good Tyson Chandler can be, good rebounding stats, speed at a 40, it's better than the speed at a 25, 7 feet tall. He always has a decent player model on my team. I'm not going to say I'm super high on Tyson Chandler, but I really do not mind the card at all. Next up, Kevin Martin. 84 3 ball, 80 speed. Defensively, he's horrible, right? But he has really good shooting badges. Kevin Martin base on normal timing. What does that look like? Again, we'll have to see today. This is 6'7", so that's pretty good height at that shooting guard position. What else does he give you on the court? Not much. He's going to shoot the ball well. Hopefully has a good release. But other than that, does not give you too much. So again, not a card I'm really high on. I do think Tyson Chandler will be better than him. Brandon Jennings up next. Now, supposedly, again, I don't know for sure, supposedly his release is good and his movement is good. That's just from what I've seen and what I've heard. Again, none of that's confirmed, just from what I've seen and what I've heard. Patty Mills base on Quick. That is the start for Brandon Jennings that we need, right? Even if you look at Tim Hardaway, some people like his release, others don't. But that base on Quick, normal leaner, has good dribble sigs, as well as the fact, look, he can dunk the ball. I do believe 65 is enough. Badge-wise, not bad. Look at all the playmaking badges he does have. Again, I'm not trying to sit up here again in front of you guys and say he's going to be the best point guard in my team. But for his Sapphire, I think he could be better, possibly, again, I'm not saying for sure, than a guy like Steph Curry. And the reason I mentioned Steph Curry is because right now, at the time I'm recording this video, Steph Curry is my backup point guard behind Joe Dumars. So I'm hoping Brandon Jennings can be really good. One thing that does concern me is he's 6'1", and his defense is horrible. So, I mean, you can apply some defensive badges to make him even better, but that definitely is a little bit concerning for Brandon Jennings for me. Next up, guys, Danny Granger. Let's start with his release. Okay, the Haywood Highsmith release. It's basically the release that Danny Granger normally has had in the past. Last year, it wasn't very good. If you guys remember on AK, it just, wasn't as good as it has been in the past. This year, in my opinion, again, this is my opinion, I think it's a little slow for my liking. Now, again, some of you guys might use it and absolutely love it. And if that happens to you guys, I'm happy for you guys because I hope you do enjoy his release. I'm just saying, from what I've seen out of it so far, it just hasn't really impressed me. Now, I'm not saying it's the worst in the game because it's not. To me, it's just a little slow. But he's still 6'9" at the small forward position, 7'1" wingspan, only 9 total badges and none of them defensively. Now, you can apply some badges to him if you want, but his defense doesn't look that good and his badge count is not where I'd like it. For me, Danny Granger is not a guy I would kind of advise you guys to spend up on. I think there are other options that if you do want to end up spending MT that you can. I just don't know if it's worth it for Danny Granger in general. Jason Kidd up next, 6'4", 6'8" wingspan. This is the card out of the drop today that I was thinking would be the best. And after I'm looking at his badge count, I definitely think he will be the best card we get today. Base badges, he's got 23 of them. 12 of them on gold, including every defensive badge you could basically want, maybe outside of anchor, chase on artist. Defensively, 88 speed, 85 lateral quickness. Playmaker-wise, good enough. Playmaking good. 3 balls, 76, good enough, especially if you apply the catch and shoot badge to him. Jason Kidd based on Quick. I don't want to sit up here and say it's the best release in the game, but for the time and era we're in my team, it's just fine. Again, it's a fine release that you can use and have enough success with. Steph dribble style, again, I don't know how good that really is. It's the early part of the year we'll be able to figure a lot of those things out. But I think Jason Kidd is going to be right up there with Joe Dumars, right? I really do. Whereas maybe Joe Dumars is going to be a little bit better, probably because of his badges and stuff. But again, that's kind of who Jason Kidd does remind me of in general. So if you don't have Joe Dumars and you're needing a defensive point guard, Jason Kidd might be the guy for you. Last but certainly not least, Dirk Nowitzki, 88 3-ball, 32 speed, 32 lateral quickness. He is 7 feet tall though. So if you want a center that is just going to be a pure stretch big, that's what this Dirk is going to provide for you guys. Now, outside of, just shooting the ball, Does he provide that much else for you on the court? No, but his badge count is pretty good. You got to realize, does come with 26 badges. Most of them are shooting, though. When you look defensively, he's not great. Can't get anchor. Can give him rebound chaser, make him a little bit better in that area, though. But in general, on the defensive end of the court, just not going to be great. But if you do want a pure sharpshooter, Dirk is going to be able to do that. Am I a big fan of Dirk? Do I think the card's going to be absolutely elite, absolutely outstanding? Not really. I mean, again, that's just my opinion. But when it comes down to this drop, I'm not super excited. I mean, even from the top down, it's not a drop that really gets my attention. The budget guys aren't really what we have seen in the past, especially after yesterday. You get a free Cam Whitmore, Jabari Smith Jr. We've seen Matt Barnes for free. If you even go to yesterday, guys, we've seen even a guy in Jordan Walsh. Everybody loves him. So that's just kind of my perspective. This drop does not really get my attention. That's going to wrap it up for our video today, guys. Let me know your thoughts on this drop down below in the comments. Drop a like on the video, subscribe if you're doing it. As always, man, I love you guys. Have a blessed day.